What's going on, good people? It's your man, Ole Man Winter, coming to you with a special episode of No Holds Barred. This is Ole Man Winter's first reaction video ever, you know what I'm saying? So we all know this is my first go around, so we'll see how this goes. And I've picked this particular issue and topic because this video has been out for a long time now, but it's caught my eye for the white supremacist undertones that's embedded in this guy's content. So I've always wanted to address this, and hey, better late than never, as I say. Although the video's been out for a while, I haven't seen anybody really break down what's actually going on in here. And e- even though there's a lot of white supremacist bullshit, there's the motivation behind this guy. On top of that, 90% of the information that presenting is wrong, and he's being contrary just for contrarian's sake, which is even more indication that his motivation was just pure white supremacist. I'm white and I say so. Let me get out here and disprove these niggas and show this nigga that he don't know what he's talking about, and show I'm the white guy in the room. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So you all might say, "Oh man, Winter, you being harsh. You always talk about somebody white supremacist, this, that, and the third, and shit like that." But as we dive deep into this video, you will see there are a lot of racial undertones into his rhetoric and the little digs and shots that he take. Um, and he's pulling no punches on Bandman Kevo and Raphael Vargas to a lesser extent. So don't shed any tears for this guy. This guy is very harsh. Whenever you're accusing people of criminal activity, you call them fraudsters, you call them scammers, you call them everything but a child of God, you call them everything but a nigga. You know what I'm saying? You don't have any sympathy from Old Man Winter. You know, you're going to get everything that you deserve, you know what I'm saying, from me. So, yeah, it just is what it is. Whatever the fuck I say, this motherfucker got taking ain't shit he could fucking do about it. And fuck him, basically, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, he's a card carrying white supremacist, and it comes shining through in his verbiage and rhetoric, and even his motivation for even making a video, where he basically just gives a whole lot of misinformation just for contrarian's sake, just to say I know more than these multi-million dollar, you know, ethnic people. This multi-million dollar nigga, I know more than him, and to a lesser extent, Raphael Vargas. And even before we even get into it, the reason why it's a lesser extent for Raphael Vargas is because most white supremacists subscribe to the racial hierarchy game. So, black people are the bottom caste of society, and, Hispanics, Asians, Indians, or whatever, all at a higher level in the racial caste system. So he has a little more respect for Raphael Vargas than he has for Bandman Kevo. And you will see when he's speaking about Bandman Kevo, which is the majority of his focus in this video. He's very condescending. He's very vicious towards him. So, like I say, whatever I say about this asshole, you know what I'm saying? Don't feel too fucking bad, because he's not pulling any punches in the bullshit he's saying. And what makes it worse is he's saying it, backing it up with completely complete ignorance. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's move forward, and let's get on with the show.
In this video, you're going to learn about mortgage fraud, credit, personal finance, and why you need to be aware of who you follow on social media. We have Raphael Vargas and Bandman Kevo, who are a match made in heaven. Raphael left the real estate game to begin promoting every get-rich-easy scheme on social media, which is perfect for teaming up with Kevo, whose audience wants quick riches at any cost.
So that's one of his first, white supremacist digs right there. Anybody that follows Bandman Kevo, anybody that has watched him, for any amount of time, who is Bandman Kevo's audience? So he's talking shit about his audience that they just want to get rich quick, and they're just following him for a bunch of quick get rich quick schemes too. You know what I'm saying? Guess who's Bandman Kevo's audience is? Take a wild guess. Dun dun dun, black folks, you know what I'm saying? So Bandman Kevo, you see him talking to people, you see him bring him on live, doing live stream interactions, talking to anybody, doing interviews. He's dealing with strictly black people. I've never seen them do an interview or anything with any white people at all. You know what I'm saying? When he's talking, coaching, giving advice, it's always other black people that's absorbing information and his knowledge or whatever, or interviewing them or interacting with them in any way, shape, or form. So there you go. This guy's first move was to take a dig at Bandman Kevo's audience, and as well as setting it up as these guys are a bunch of scammers. You know what I'm saying? They just a bunch of flash in the pan scammers. Um, Furthermore, it's easy, and I see why these guys are a target of white supremacists like this because they aren't the typical, real estate. They don't look the part. They aren't clean cut white boys because how many clean cut white guys is this guy going after, harshly calling them scammers, saying they built their empires off of scamming, saying, just a bunch of bullshit that he's going to go further into. How many people is he treating like this? How many people is he going in on like this? When you look at these guys right here, it's easy to tell Bandman Kevo has a bunch of flashy jewelry on. Raphael Vargas with the cigar, you know what I'm saying, nice diamond earrings, and and it's obvious they have a lot of money. But the one thing that's, doesn't fit the bill for this guy and rubs him the wrong way is they aren't white. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they have to get this work in his eyes, and that's basically what he does. The only problem is that he's an ignorant buffoon that doesn't know anything about what the fuck he's talking about. I doubt he has any real estate of his own. He claims to be a real estate agent, but he seems to have a very small understanding of real estate investing. So he may know something about being a real estate agent, but as far as being a real estate investor, his IQ seems to be extremely low. He gives a lot of bad information, and he's basically being contrarian with the Bandman Kevo's information, but not knowing, with his lack of ignorance, not knowing what Bandman Kevo is saying correct, and he just doesn't have the knowledge base to understand what the man is saying is correct. So let me move on, you know what I'm saying? Because if I do all these interruptions, we'll be here all night long.
These two guys have large personal brands and make a lot of money. They are very influential on their followers. As you'll see in this video, there's a lot of flaws in the promotion of their knowledge.
Why is credit so important, even if you're in real estate, or it doesn't matter what you win? Why is credit so important?
I do like that Kevo is helping people improve their credit.
So this is one of the white supremacists' many, tactics and tricks. They'll, before they decide that they're going to, attack somebody and go in on them or whatever, to make it look as if that they're fair and impartial and unbiased, they'll give a quick, mild, disingenuous compliment to the person, giving a nod, saying, "Okay, I like this and that and a third about this person." That's just a smoke screen. It's full of shit. Now, also with that statement, it shows that he's completely contradicted himself, and he's a complete hypocrite because he's saying he likes Bandman Kevo for giving out this credit information. But if Bandman Kevo was a fraud, sir, if Bandman Kevo was a fraud, why would you like him giving people a credit education then? Because he's frauding. That means everything he's telling you is bullshit, right? So that shows that you're being a hypocrite and you're contradicting yourself from the get go. Which means you almost just negated anything else that you say for the rest of the video already because you've shown that, you know what I'm saying, you're basically just talking out of your ass because you're saying you like what the fuck he's doing, but at the same time calling him a fraudster and a scammer and he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So let's proceed.
An example of why good credit saves you a lot of money is when we look at a $300,000 mortgage. The difference between 3% interest rate and 4% interest rate is around $50,000 for the entirety of a 30-year loan.
Credit is so important because the whole goal to real estate is not really using your cash.
Kevo contradicts himself in the same.
I find that extremely ironic that this guy, after just contradicting himself ridiculously, as I just pointed out, for him to turn around and say that this man is contradicting himself. But his basis and reasoning, as you will hear in the next couple of seconds, is completely, his reasoning is completely flawed, and he doesn't know what he's talking about, which makes it even more laughable that the position that he's taking. Listen.
Same sentence, he says credit is important because in real estate you want to use other people's money. Credit is irrelevant if you're using other people's money to finance your purchases. This is commonly referred to as raising private money. Kevo is just regurgitating.
So this is the start of his long-winded disinformation campaign that he will continue, and it will get worse and worse as we go forward in this video. So this is the first of his misinformation. So other people's money is anybody else's money. It doesn't, I don't know where this guy got this idea in his head that other people's money is strictly regulated to hard money loans, what he calls private lenders. You know, most people in real estate investing calls it a hard money loan or a hard money lender. Uh, but this guy is acting as if that's the only term where the term other people's money refers to. But no, other people's money refers to the bank, your credit cards, wherever you pulling it from, your auntie, your cousin, your uncle, wherever you getting this money from, that's other people's money. If you're borrowing money to acquire something, it's other people's money, whether you borrow from a hard money lender, the bank, or whoever. You know, so he's already starting off on the wrong foot, spreading misinformation, telling you that other people's money only specifically refers to hard money loans, where that's so far from the truth that it's ridiculous. And don't take my word for it. People like Ben Mallah, Grant Cardone, Meet Kevin, all of these people refer to other people's money as the bank's money or whoever's. So it's not just Old Man Winter talking. It's any other real estate guru or any other real estate professional that actually knows what they're talking about.
Regurgitating random buzzwords he's heard from gurus like Grant Cardone, but has no idea what he's talking about with real estate.
So now you know where I'm going with this. That was just an overt dig, and like I said, you know the motive. You know what the motivations are in my eyes. You know, this guy's a card carrying member of the cult of white supremacy, so he'll never miss an opportunity to try to throw Bandman Kevo under the bus. So if Bandman Kevo knows something, it can't be attributed to any learning or his own knowledge base. He has to give the credit to a prominent white guy that he had to stole the information from to use it and regurgitate it himself. But when you find out information wherever you drawing it from, you have to find it from anywhere, from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Whether you read a book or get it from Grant Cardone or Ben Mallah or whoever you getting the information from. So it's a bullshit dig, but nonetheless, he had to take it because what's his purpose? To make Bandman Kevo look bad and to say, I'm the white guy that knows everything I'm talking about, and I'm going to make this nigga look silly and stupid and dumb and shit. So let's move forward. You'll hear a lot more of those type of little digs too, as we move on throughout this video.
basically take the percentages that real estate offers, like as far as banks. So for instance, let's say if you have a credit score of 800 with a $100,000 credit limit.
A 100K credit limit will either be business credit or personal credit. Business credit will not be evaluated or will not show up when the lenders pull your credit if you're qualifying for a loan on a primary residence. With personal credit, the credit limits will show up on your credit report and lenders will calculate the minimum monthly payment if you were to use all $100,000 of credit at one time, because lenders are always evaluating their downside risk if you spend all of the money available to you. You're going to need to qualify for the loan if you spent the full $100,000 of credit. The credit card's minimum monthly payment will be calculated as debt. Credit cards will generally have a 1 to 3% monthly minimum on credit usage, so that could be $1,000 to $3,000 per month added to your debt to income ratio. Good luck qualifying with that debt on your DTI.
So this guy is insidious with his tactics. So, like I say, he either lies or gives disinformation or tells half truths. Now, if you listen to Kevo and what Kevo's talking about, what he's talking about is completely different than this guy. This guy changed the subject basically, and you didn't know it because it's vaguely related. What he's basically doing is called a straw man argument. Kevo says one thing, then he comes up with a whole nother scenario and then argues against himself, basically shadow boxing. He argues against himself to try to make it look like Kevo don't know what he's talking about. Kevo said what he said. But what this guy is explaining and talking about is if you have a credit card and you're trying to go get a loan and your credit card is maxed out and you have $100,000 worth of debt. Not just $100,000 worth of credit, but $100,000 worth of credit with $100,000 worth of debt as well. In that scenario, yes, when you go to the mortgage company, the mortgage company has to calculate your minimum payment on that $100,000 credit against your income ratio. You know what I'm saying? Which is your debt to income. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you will take whatever that minimum balance is, hit to your income, and they have to put that in there as far as you qualifying for your mortgage. What he fails to realize, and where he's very dishonest with, and he does no service to anybody listening to him, is the fact, and what he leaves out, which is the most important thing, is the fact that if you're going to go get a mortgage, you're supposed to have your shit together. You're supposed to have your ducks lined up in a row. You're not supposed to have $100,000 worth of credit card fucking debt. If you're trying to get in this game and you're trying to get into this fucking business, you're supposed to have already cleaned your credit up. You're supposed to have all your debt paid down. If you have a $100,000 credit limit with zero debt, which means your credit cards are paid down to zero, then now you look amazing to the bank because they don't now at that point they don't use your minimum payment on that credit card debt, but you have this making you look good. You have this huge line of credit that's paid off. You don't owe anything, which means now when they calculate your debt to income, they're calculated with no debt, with no additional debt added to your debt to income. So now we're just going based off basically what your income level is, and that's the best position, just as far as for real estate advice, just generally, that's the position you want to be in when you're going in to go get a mortgage. So you want to have your shit together. You want to have your ducks lined up in a row. So when you walk in there to get your mortgage, you want to have zero debt. You want to have all your debt cleared so you don't have anything that's cutting into your income. But he doesn't say any of this. He comes up with, first off, a straw man argument because that has nothing to do with what Kevin was talking about. And then he doesn't even give you the full information and breakdown in the way to do it, act in a proper manner when you're going to get these mortgages. So let's just move on because it'll be a lot more of this type of insidious behavior as we move forward into the video.
You want to basically take the 3% to 10% that you put down on a home and own the home off that small percentage while you're paying notes.
There are conventional loan financing products for 3, 5, and 10% down. He's correct. These loans are generally for first-time homebuyers and allow for a debt-to-income ratio of about 43%. In his example of someone who has high credit limits, they're going to need a very high income to qualify for a mortgage with that low of a down payment. Lending has begun restricting a bit. Lenders are a lot more difficult on qualifications right now than they were in years past. Qualifying is not as easy as these two make it seem.
That's why.
So, again, let's get into that and break that down. So you can get 3% down loans, but he's correct in the fact that for 3%, strictly 3% down mortgage products, loan products, those are only first-time home buyer. Those exclusively for first-time home buyer programs. 5% and 10%, you can get those in a conventional manner or in other ways, but you would have to be in a great credit percentage, this great credit position. This is a numbers game. Your credit score is everything when it comes to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have a great credit percentage and your income level. Um, that matters in accordance to what you're going after. You know what I'm saying? What you qualify for. So that's really, is a subjective topic right there. You should be shopping for things that you qualify for within your income level. So whether you qualify for $100,000 loan to $1 million loan or whatever the case may be, your income level will reflect that. So that's not really anything that needs to be spoken to. So let's continue.
Real estate agents be so thirsty for people to buy homes, because even if you put down that 10% or that 5%, the banks are still going to pay them for that home with your percentage down. You just will owe the bank. So
Agents do provide a lot of value in a transaction because most homeowners have no idea how to value their property. Zillow is not a good resource. They also rarely know what needs to be done in order to get the house sold, what to price the house at, how to negotiate, or how to deal with any disclosures. The good thing about having a real estate agent is they'll protect you from the advice you're about to hear.
So again, another straw man argument. Kevo never said not to have a real estate agent. He talked about why real estate agents are, in quote unquote, thirsty for you to buy homes. They want you to buy homes because they make money off of that. That just is what it is. He isn't saying real estate agents are good or bad or indifferent, nor am I. You know what I'm saying? I advocate for having a real estate agent as well. He didn't say not to get a real estate agent. He said not to have a real estate agent. He didn't say real estate agents didn't have value. He just said that real estate agents basically want you to buy property so they can make money, which is of course, you know what I'm saying? So it really wasn't any need for this guy to jump in and say anything. But again, everything Kevo says, he has to counter or act as if he's saying something against something Kevo said that Kevo never, really said. He's again doing another straw man argument, and he does a lot of that throughout this video. Now, as far as him talking about the to protect you against the advice that he's about to say right now, it's we'll get into that as we get into that.
if you put 3% down on one building and you still have all that $300,000-$400,000 left over, you can take another 3% times 50, and you own 50 new units. You get it?
I love Kevo's face at the end as if he's saying something wise.
And you own 50 new units. You get it?
That's
So let's do this. So first off, again, the white supremacist in him has to, basically call him stupid. He said it in a nice way. Yeah, I love the way Kevo says this, as if he's saying something wise. In layman's terms, this nigga is stupid. He's saying something that's dumb. So let's hear it again.
And you own 50 new units. You get it?
That's mortgage fraud, Kevo.
So this guy says that's mortgage fraud. Where did he hear anything about mortgage fraud? Did he tell anybody to commit mortgage fraud? You know what I'm saying? Now, fraud is a very serious accusation. And this guy is haphazardly using it in a manner that's extremely reckless and does not represent what's actually being stated by Kevo in no way, shape, or form. Kevo hasn't told anybody to commit fraud. He hasn't said anything about doing anything illegal, and I've personally witnessed him advocate against doing any type of fraudulent behavior and any type of illegal activity. So for this guy to sit here and say that the man is committing fraud, for this roundabout excuse and reason he's about to give is completely ridiculous, and it's just, it's really no words to even say, you know what I'm saying, when you just go out and make baseless accusations like that. It's defamation. Um, it's it's nasty and it's unfucking called for. You know what I'm saying? So anything that I got to say about this ass wipe, it's well deserved.
What makes this even worse is Raphael knows real estate investing and financing, but didn't jump in because he cares more about these get-rich-easy conversations than actually helping consumers. Whenever you
So again, like I talked about with the racial hierarchy, this guy is willing to give Raphael Vargas some acknowledgement of having some type of expertise, of actually knowing what he's talking about. He doesn't give Bandman Kevo any any leeway as far as he doesn't respect Bandman Kevo's knowledge on anything. When he's talking about Raphael Vargas, he has a small moniker of respect for him. You see the way that he speaks about one man and the other. That's the racial hierarchy, the racial caste system at play right there. Like I say, this man is a card carrying member of the cult of white supremacy, and he's going to show you that blow by blow, statement by statement.
put 3 to 10% down on a house, the requirements are that you live in the house for at least 1 year as your primary residence.
That is incorrect. As I stated before, 3% down, yes, it's a mandatory that it's your primary residence. Specifically for 3%. 5 to 10%, no, that's not a mandatory requirement. No, that is not. His information is incorrect there.
If you are trying to game the system and acquire investment properties with 3 to 10% down, then you
Now, when you talk about this game in the system, what is game in the system? And what system is he talking about when you want to really go into, because he uses that reference of several times, gaming the system. Now, what system is he talking about? What system have I been talking about? The system of white supremacy. His issue is these niggas think that they done figured out a way to get around and get a leg up in the system of white supremacy. They think they're gonna take advantage of real estate to actually pull themselves out of poverty and game the system of white supremacy and achieve financial freedom and wealth. And he has he has an issue with this. He has an issue with people, niggas, trying to game the system of white supremacy. He surely does, you know what I'm saying? And you hear it in his voice. He talks about gaming the system several times. What system, sir?
will be found very quickly. You wouldn't even be able to get away with it. Kevo clearly has a ton of experience working with mortgage lenders. When you apply for a mortgage, the lender is going to analyze all of the debt reporting on your personal credit. They will see that you have a current loan of 90 to 97% LTV and the loan was obtained within the past year. They will not
So, first off, let him finish.
approve you for a new loan. This scenario legit will never happen in the real world without seller financing. Even if Kevo
Okay, so he acknowledges that it can't happen. You know what I'm saying? As far as that 3% down loan, which he's trying to focus on. You know what I'm saying? Now it is a way possible to do it, but he covered his bases. Like I say, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? He gave another statement on what hasn't even been talked about yet, and you don't know if what is this behind the game plan behind Kevo or not, because Kevo isn't having a open conversation with him. He's doing a reaction video. So this guy says, well, if you try to go to the bank and you got a loan for 3% down, within the same year. Now, remember, Kevo don't say nothing about all this broke down shit he's talking about getting a 3% down loan within the same year. You know what I'm saying? Or any of that shit. But he's saying, well, if you do that, you can't do it. It's impossible. This, that, and the third. It's fraud and all this bullshit he's throwing around. But he just admitted a couple of seconds ago that the process is impossible any fucking way. And I agree with that. But how can you call it fraud? How can you say it's an attempted fraud if you're saying, if you already admit that it's impossible to do to begin with? So how could you ever get to the point of fraud, sir? If you can't hold two, because you can only, let me even explain. You can only hold one first-time home buyers, which that's self-explanatory. You can only hold one first-time home buyer's loan at a time. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a first-time home buyer's loan, then it's impossible to go get another one. You know what I'm saying? So no, you can't do that. And he knows that, he's admitting that. Within a 1 year's time frame, you can't do that. After a year has passed, yes, you can, and it's a whole process to doing that. So technically with Bandman Kevo, it's possible if you're patient and you want to do a deal once a year. But remember that this man is doing nothing but straw man arguments. So when he gives the argument, he says, okay, yeah, that's fraud because you can't do that and you can't hold more than one of these loans within if you try to get it within the same year. You see how he does that? He says, oh, Kevo, you're wrong if you try to do that. If you try to get a 3% down loan, you know what I'm saying? You committed fraud. By the way, that's only if you try to do it in the same year, within 1 year of getting the loan. You know, so it shows that he, at first I was saying like this guy's just ignorant and dumb and stupid, which he is on a lot of points that he makes. But the shit that he has knowledge on, he's trying to manipulate the facts of the scenario with a straight straw man argument to try to make it seem as if Kevo is saying something wrong or fraudulent or something. Because he knows that you can do multiple 3% down loans if you do them 1 year at a time. You know what I'm saying? He's basically admitted that himself. You know what I'm saying? So where's Kevo wrong at? Kevo said you can get 3%, 3%, 3%. He didn't say in what amount of time frame or any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? If that was even Kevo's damn mindset with that. Or Kevo may have just made a simple mistake saying 3%, not, you know what I'm saying, where he really might have meant like a 5%, 5%, 5%, or 10%, 10%, 10%. You know what I'm saying? Where those, you know what I'm saying, loan products don't necessarily have to be first time home buyers programs, you know what I'm saying, but you do have to meet other certain requirements to obtain those multiple amounts of them low percentage loans. But it's not no hard and fast rules from 5% on as far as what type of loan products you can use. They aren't telling Donald Trump or Ben Mallah or Grant Cardone. They aren't trying. They're beating. The banks are beating each other off. You know what I'm saying? To beating each other up to try to loan these people money. So you think that they're not going to give a person that prints money like Trump or Ben Mallah or Grant Cardone, a 5% or a 10% loan, then you're sadly mistaken. You know that rules, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing hard and fast about any of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? That'll be on a case by case basis. It only comes to when it comes to denying people for loans, then you have to stick to hard and fast rules because we can start talking about discrimination. But when it talks about approving people for loans, that's at the bank's discretion. They can, make that decision on if they want to loan you, give you a loan for 5% down, 10%, 15, 20, 25, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's their decision. So, yeah, this guy, is here just to, you know, just contradict anything that Bandman Kevo has to say. And who cares about reality? Who cares about the facts of the matter? Just as long as I make him look bad and try to make myself look good at the same time. That's the agenda here.
Misspoke and meant acquiring these loans after 1 year of living on the property. Attempting to acquire the second home will be very difficult since you'll have large amounts of debt on your credit report.
Actually, no. If you do that in the right way, and there's a specific technique to, like I spoke about earlier, a minute ago, it's a specific technique to acquire these properties once a year with that 3% down. And it wouldn't require that you will be over leveraged or you will have too much debt. As a matter of fact, you will be in a better position when you go back after that year is up. You will be in a better financial position to get a loan, and you will be able to get a loan with you will be able to get a better loan and a bigger loan, so on and so forth. You could repeat this process up to 10 times, before the banks start being weary about loaning to you. Yeah, it's a specific process. And if you all want me to detail that process in depth, you know what I'm saying? I need like y'all gonna have to work for this one. I have to bribe y'all motherfuckers this time. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want the real estate advice on, how to acquire multiple properties at 3% down, give me like 500 likes on this video and give me like 1,000 new subscribers, and I'll go ahead and break you down now. This is what Man Kevo will be calling the sauce, you know what I'm saying? So he charges $15,000 consultations for this type of sauce that I'll be giving out. So y'all get me to that, you know what I'm saying? Give me them extra 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 y'all subscribe. Give me 500 likes on this video, and boom, I'll give y'all the sauce on how to acquire these properties at 3% down once a year. You know what I'm saying? It takes once a year. He's correct about that. And I could give you all the sauce on that. So, but that's just a little bit of self promotion right there. Your boy Ole Man Winter gotta throw his little shit in there. You know what I'm saying? Let y'all know the business. But let's continue with this asshole.
The current property and the desired property will both have higher interest rates, a large monthly private mortgage insurance payment, and
Nope.
both will count towards your debt. Given the borrower will still need to be under 43% DTI, they will need a reasonably high income to qualify for a second mortgage. Trying to do this a third time won't happen. I hope
Again, like I just said, I can show you, get me to where we talking about, and I can prove to you, and he could come in the video, get on the comments or whatever, and I'll show you. He wouldn't be able, he could do a reaction video to the video that I will create. He wouldn't be able to disprove it. I guarantee you, I can show you a method to do this once a year where you could buy a property that's even more valuable than the last property you got each time you do the process, up to 10 properties. I got a guaranteed method for that. So you all give me those 500 likes, you give me 1,000 new subscribers, and I'll be making the video, and we can see from there. But I guarantee you that it's possible. It's very possible, and it's not hard.
everyone watching understands how easy it is to be a fake guru. You just make it sound so easy to acquire 50 new units if you follow my advice. All you have to do is leave out any important detail about qualifying for loans.
So, like I say, 50 new units, yeah, I'm telling you 10, you can do it. Then you'll have to get creative with your financing at that point in time. But just think about it. If you got 10 units, you're in a whole nother income level, a way higher income level than when you started with that first unit. So, you know, you have more people with more money have access to more opportunities. Do you think that the layman person looking at Bandman Kevo and Raphael Vargas, you think that they have to go through the same things we have to go through to get things accomplished? No, they're in a whole nother atmosphere right now. They have connections. They have a whole lot of access to money. This is how they already got $100,000 credit lines and all that type of stuff. So if you get to that point, trust me, you're in a different atmosphere now, and now you're talking about next level shit beyond this guy right here's understanding. So yeah, you'll have to get creative and do other things, but you'll be prepared at that point in time because your whole life basically will be changed by the time you get to that 10th property.
So that's how you were able to build like your Airbnb portfolio. Like
Raphael was a legit wholesaler. It disappoints me that he didn't step in and mention that what Kevo is promoting is not possible. He used to coach real estate wholesaling before a falling out with the creators of the program, and then he left the real estate game for good because selling get-rich-easy schemes is easier.
Again, the racial hierarchy says he can give some respect to Raphael Vargas, where he has none for Bandman Kevo. And he's mad that Raphael Vargas isn't basically adhering to being on code and getting down on Bandman Kevo and acting superior to him. So he has to come and step in and say, look, Will, since the resident uh, upper caste member that was standing right there with Bandman Kevo, letting him talk all this foolishness and bullshit that he's talking. Since he didn't do it, let me step in as the highest racial caste there is and correct both of them and chastise both of these little boys because black men are always boys to the white man. Let's just be clear, plain and simple. And now he has to come put us boys in our place because we don't know what we're talking about.
Airbnb scheme is literally not possible. You can't attain a mortgage with 3% down and use for Airbnb. If Kevo is doing that somehow, then he's committing mortgage fraud and teaching you to do the same. Kevo made his money
Again, like I said, I'm not going to reveal how you can do that, but he is incorrect. Once again, like I say, the man says nothing but wrong information. He is incorrect once again. If you all get me to that 500 likes on this particular video and give me 1,000 new subscribers, I guarantee I will make a video that will detail and break this down piece by piece and bit by bit, and I will make this guy eat his words. I guarantee you can do it, and it will be very. I'm not saying you have to have your shit together, but if you got your shit together, the method that I'm going to tell you is irrefutable. You know what I'm saying? And it's objectively able to be repeated by anybody that's willing to sit down and learn this shit. You know what I'm saying? And it only takes one video to teach you all it. You know what I'm saying? So the video may be like an hour long too, like this one is. This might even be a little longer than what that video will be. You know what I'm saying? But it's wholly possible. What he's saying, he doesn't know what he's talking about because he's uneducated in real estate investing. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's wholly possible, and it's easier than what you think. And that's all that I'm going to say. If you all want the real sauce, you all want what Bandman Kevo will charge you $15,000 for a personal consultation to tell you, then give me those 500 likes, give me them thousand subs, and boom. And I guarantee you, I'll make this man eat his words.
scamming millions of dollars. He isn't this huge influencer without the scamming. To me, scamming is theft. He stole money and now presents himself as this investment guru. The reason why I care is
So he's disingenuous once again. Now, Bandman Kevo was a scammer in his past. He's admitted that. He's transparent with it. He's told the whole world. He's told people how not to get. He's broke down his scams and told people how not to get scammed and told people not to scam. You know what I'm saying? Now, in what world do you go to jail for scamming? You know what I'm saying? Which is financial crimes. You go to jail and the police let you keep the fucking money that you scammed. When that man walked out of jail, he had nothing. He used his knowledge, his studies, and his brain to build him a legitimate legal empire. He didn't get his money off of scamming. This man knows that he should. He can't be that fucking stupid to think that the police, you know what I'm saying, that the feds, because he had a fucking Fed case, to think that the fucking feds took this man down, put him in prison for scamming, but let him keep all the money. So he built all of this shit off of fucking scamming. No, that's just that green-eyed, jealous devil in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? His ass is jealous. He's like, the only way this nigga could have did what he did and got all this fucking money and be in the position that he's in is by fucking scamming. He couldn't have done it the right way because he got what I don't have. He got more than me. So since he got more than me, this nigga had to do it by getting it by scamming. And this is why I can't stand this motherfucker right here. You know what I'm saying? Because this man is a card carrying motherfucking hardcore member of the cult of white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? And you can see it in his eyes. Look at his beady little eyes. You can see the disgust in him that he's upset that this nigga in his eyes then sat up here and built him an empire. You know what I'm saying? And he's in a position he feel like he should be in. How dare this nigga sit up here and get all this damn money and I'm not even to where he's at by it. But what makes him feel good about it is to just write it off as, oh, this dude is a scammer. The only way anybody could ever do it, the only way somebody could get all this money, the only way he can ride around all these Maybachs and Lamborghinis and all this shit is by scamming. That helps him to sleep at night. Step your game up, motherfucker. If you want to get your shit, stop sitting back trying to say what you can't do and what everybody else can't do, and everybody's playing the fucking system. And how's about you try to pick up some fucking game, you jealous hearted motherfucker? Because ain't nobody doing shit scam, ain't nobody doing shit fucking illegal. And like I say, let me tell you all, when I make this video, once y'all do what, get me to where I'm asking you all to get me, I promise you, it's nothing that I'm telling you that's gonna be fucking illegal. Everything is above board. You know what I'm saying? Because he'll be coming behind trying to talk about I'm fucking scamming too. Because he's a jealous-hearted motherfucker that talks shit about any nigga that's out here doing some shit that he feel like is gaming the system of white supremacy. But let's go.
Because the people who follow him are looking for ways to advance in life and are being given the wrong information. Kevo partners with people to hide his money and is why he probably does have a large investment portfolio, maybe even a lot of Airbnbs, but it's all from scam money. If you follow Kevo and haven't scammed for millions of dollars, it's going to be difficult reaching his level. Following his advice on Airbnbs will get you in trouble.
He was telling me.
Now see, he just told on himself, hey, if you get to his level, or you have to been scamming. You got to be. I haven't did it. I'm a clean cut white guy that's got money and whatever, and I know about this shit and all this shit he's saying. It's impossible. It's scam shit. If you get to his level, which I haven't got to yet and shit, or probably never nowhere near, then yeah, if you get to his level, you couldn't do it without scamming. So you see the jealousy in this man's heart? This shit is just ridiculous.
I mean, like, bro, I'm getting Airbnbs in this building so it can pay for my penthouse that I'm about to live in.
It's funny all the hate I got when I just said that Kevo would help his audience a lot more if he was more transparent. To the misinformed, he gives off amazing advice, but he doesn't give any good advice with real estate investing.
So what does transparency with his investments have to do with any fucking thing? How would that help his audience any? All it would do is give assholes like you access to everything he got, so you could try to find a way to find something that's fucking wrong. So you could actually give a report to the FBI or some shit like that, have his ass locked up, so it'll make you feel good that he's some type of motherfucking scammer or some shit. You know what I'm saying? From what I've heard, you've been trying to do investigations to find out all where he gets his money from and doing all type of shit like that. So you mad that? So you're saying, oh, he'll help his house? No, he'll help you, bitch. He'll help your bitch ass because your bitch ass is sitting up here trying to do investigation to try to find out where the fuck he gets his fucking money from, so you could give a fucking report to the FBI or something. You fucking snitch. You already sitting back out talking about how you disgusted with scammers. You called them a fucking scammer. And it's rumored that you've been fucking investigating them, trying to look into where he gets his fucking money from and shit. So if you got all this disdain for motherfuckers and shit, you obviously is jealous of the man. Why would he have his information readily for you to fucking find and shit? So you could be trying to really say he's some scam shit and come with all this bullshit like you just did with this line at this video with a whole bunch of misinformation. You will try to collect a whole bunch of if you lie and get on this type of insidious bullshit right here and disingenuous shit, you will be trying to manipulate paperwork and all type of shit to say this man's scammers to try to give reports to the FBI or some type of law enforcement just to try to get this man locked up. Because I believe your level of hatred, you know what I'm saying, rises to those levels. So it's good that this man don't have his business out there in the damn street so you can access it all willy-nilly and shit and really try to dive deep, because how the fuck you know how his money is working if he's partnering with anybody? It's obvious you've been trying to do a lot of research into this man. Why? You're just a fucking YouTuber. You aren't law enforcement. What the fuck is the purpose? So like I say, when I'm going in on this motherfucking shit, don't cry no fucking river for this motherfucker. He's a fucking asshole. And he seemed like he a dangerous asshole at that. I wouldn't want him to know my fucking business neither.
What does Grant Cardone talk about? Same thing.
You basically, your whole goal should be letting your liability, your assets should pay for your liabilities, basically. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like Kevo is reading off a script from a generic entrepreneur business book.
why not just be
Another white supremacist dig, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, here is the video is chock full of it. Kevo can't know no shit. It has to be some low level, small amount of information. It has to be something that he got to denigrate him about. Oh yeah, he just read that from some generic ass book or some shit like that. It don't matter what the fuck he got the fucking information from. If it's valuable fucking information, and he's giving it to you, then just take the shit. Why does it matter where he got it from? Why you have to denigrate where the information comes from? You're just a sarcastic, motherfucking, pathetic son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's just talking about this motherfucking man being condescending and shit and contrarian for no fucking reason at all. And it's fucking disgusting.
smart? So I figured, let me go ahead and get an Airbnb first, learn the building real well, and then all the money that I'm making off the Airbnb, let it cover the penthouse. You get what I'm saying?
What does that even mean? He bought an Airbnb to understand a building? If you're a real estate investor, you do your due diligence before buying an investment property or getting a penthouse.
The fast
So this, like I say, contrarian for contrary's sake. If you get you a fucking Airbnb, man, and then you go, you doing due diligence is just paperwork ass shit. You won't know the type of people that stay there for real. You talking about a whole entire fucking building. You want to know the type of people that stay there. You won't know the atmosphere on an everyday basis. Any of that motherfucking shit. So let me break down the logic to you, stupid. If since you don't understand the logic, you don't know what the fuck he's talking about. The logic is, okay, you buy an Airbnb in a fucking in a building or whatever. He's talking about in a building. You buy an Airbnb in a building, which he's talking about a condo that he Airbnbs out. Now he has the luxury of actually staying in the Airbnb whenever he wants to and renting the motherfucker out, you know what I'm saying, whenever, he's not staying in that motherfucker. As he stays in that motherfucker, he can get understanding of what the atmosphere of that fucking building is. You know what I'm saying? How the building is, like he just said. You know, the neighbors, how does shit go, how are the doormen, or whatever the fuck they got going on there. He have a full understanding off of, you know what I'm saying, being able to stay there sometimes because it's his own Airbnb. Stay there sometimes, and then times he's not staying there, then rent the motherfucker out. And then at that point, if it's a building that he likes, then yeah, he can just go buy him a fucking penthouse and keep the Airbnb there. When the Airbnb, he'll rent that motherfucker out full fucking time now. You know what I'm saying? And the Airbnb will be paying for his penthouse. So since you acting like you slow to the game and don't understand something, that was a full breakdown. So you're welcome.
This is a way to build your credit is knowing people who has high limit credit cards. I'm telling y'all a secret. High limit credit cards, meaning if you know somebody who have $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 credit card, and they're willing to make you an authorized user on their credit card, you inherit their limit.
Kevo is right. The quickest way to boost your score is to become an authorized user on someone else's account.
Kevo don't need your stamp of approval on shit, asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, it's another, you know what I'm saying? It ain't right till I say it's right type shit. You know what I'm saying? The I'm white and I say so fucking rule is in a fucking effect. Kevo ain't right till I come in and tell you all that Kevo is fucking right. You see the level of arrogance this asshole brings to the motherfucking table? With all of this misinformation that I've detailed from day one with this fucking video, and he has the nerve to be still coming in this motherfucker talking about he has to give his stamp of approval on some shit for Kevo to be fucking right. How dare this fucking ignorant asshole?
Kevo is all about credit cards, right? Well, he doesn't explain that FICO 8 is the main score used for credit card lending. Lenders are able to see that your boost in credit score comes from being an authorized user and will eliminate that boost from qualifications. This practice is known as piggybacking, and lenders have figured it out by now. The purpose of a credit score is for lenders to have an idea on the risk of a borrower and how likely they are to pay back the debt. Since
Again, another straw man argument. He's arguing about getting other credit cards. That's not what the fuck Bandman Kevo was talking about. Bandman Kevo is talking about becoming an authorized user on a credit card. He's not talking about these people acquiring new credit cards. He isn't talking about that. So again, another straw man argument, and you know, this is like I say, this is just to repeat. He'll continue this throughout the video.
this conversation is about mortgages, mortgage lenders will see someone's credit score being propped up by authorized user access and will want to know what is your credit score without the authorized user hack. They want
Incorrect. In fucking correct. And like I say, he had to go to the this is a conversation about fucking mortgages because he seemed that he was off. He was just making some bullshit up talking about acquiring a credit card. That had nothing to do with the conversation. So he did bring it back in to say, okay, well, we are talking about mortgages and shit. And that argument isn't valid with motherfucking on the mortgage scene. But then he tries to make it seem like it really is because the mortgage company somehow arbitrarily just change your motherfucking credit score from what it really is to some magical number they want to make up where they're eliminating your authorized usership from your motherfucking credit and then saying that's your credit. It doesn't work like that. Like I said before, this mortgage shit is a fucking numbers game. He wants it to be like in a day because the real estate profession and the real estate industry has throughout the years been fucking racist as fuck. So yes, man, back in the days, and even to this day, you know, dealing with the wrong people, you know what I'm saying? They will try to find any excuse to deny you if you're not white. You know what I'm saying? So that's just is what the fuck it is. But this is a numbers game. If you meet the fucking qualifications, you meet the fucking qualifications. If you got to get to a motherfucking 640 to motherfucking get some shit, and you a 639, you're denied. If you're 640 and your shit is ducks lined up in a row, you're approved. And that's the way the fuck it works. But in the world that he wants it to be, the world that he wants to exist. That's why I keep saying, well, mortgage, he's trying to manifest this into existence. Trust and believe. Oh, well, lenders are starting to get a hold of this and, you know, they're going to make up a magical credit score, give you a magical credit score that isn't what the credit score that you actually have that you get from the credit bureaus. No, they're going to make up their own credit score for you and then deny you off that basis. That shit would be this discrimination is illegal, and this is why we have fucking discrimination laws. They can only go off of your fucking credit score that's on fucking paper. I don't know what the fuck this clown is talking about, but I guarantee it's inaccurate. And if a lender is operating the way he's talking about making up their own credit score, they want to know what your credit score is without your authorized use, even though that authorized use make your credit score decent, but it'll be that without it, they don't have the discretion to do that. What he's talking about doesn't fucking exist. And if a lender is practicing that, then they are the ones that are committing the crime. They are doing illegal discrimination.
want to evaluate your creditworthiness based on primary lines. Even though mortgage lending still relies on FICO 2, 4, and 5, it's unlikely you'll be able to use this hack to beat the system.
Look at him keep on talking about beating the system. He do not like niggas to beat what he calls beating the system of white supremacy. That's his greatest fucking fear. The whole point of his video is, look, niggas, don't come in here trying to do all this shit, buying up all this fucking property, trying to pull all these finesses and all these little, what he looks at as scam moves and shit like that. Nigga, if you ain't got, you know what I'm saying, $100,000 to just go buy a building outright or whatever the fuck, then don't get in this game. I want motherfucking this shit to be all safe for me and all my white supremacist buddies and shit that it was born and inherited 800 credit scores and shit and got 200,000 trust funds and all this type of shit. Niggas don't put any of these hacks into motherfucking practice that could get you into this real estate game neither. No, all this shit is dumb. Kevo, your fans, I'm trying to tell Kevo fans because I don't want them to be scammed. No, you try to tell Kevo fans because you know they all niggas and you don't want them to fucking move up in the fucking world, motherfucker. So now you want to sit back and tell us all this shit that's just, you know what I'm saying, normal everyday business in the fucking in real estate, in the real estate investing world. Oh no, this is some type of weird scam and shit that you can't never get away with. So don't even try it because you're gonna go to jail for fucking fraud. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Backing authorized user hack boosts your score quickly but doesn't help you attain any funding. But I'm sure Kevo knows that because he's an expert.
He's fucking full of shit. It does help you obtain the funding. Boom. You have a example right here. Ole Man Winter is an example. I did the exact same shit, got my score boosted with authorized usership. Didn't no mortgage company bat a fucking eye. Nobody said, "Oh well, you got." Oh, nobody even said anything about. Nobody even mentioned anything about an authorized user. Not even one fucking time. That shit, the conversation never came up. They just, when they seen my credit score was a score that it was, they were just like, okay, you got good credit. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't nobody saying like, oh, well, no, you got it because it's boosted up by authorized. The dude is full of shit. And it's a whole industry that revolves around this shit. It's a whole trade line industry that revolves around this shit, where they have testimonials of motherfuckers every day of the week, 365 days a year, of people getting property based off buying a fucking trade line, which is an authorized motherfucking usership and shit, temporary authorized usership. You know what I'm saying? And qualifying for mortgages. It happens all day, every day. And the mortgage companies understand that. He talking about they cracking down this shit like that. No, they aren't. They understand that's what the fuck is happening. They don't care. All they care about is it's a numbers game. All they care about is do your shit look right. You gotta have your ducks lined the fuck up in the fucking row. That's it. That's all. But if you got all your ducks lined up in a row and your shit a motherfucking a 550 on your credit fucking score, and you get your shit boosted up to a 700 with an authorized fucking user, no fucking mortgage company is gonna fucking bat an eye if everything else is fucking good too. You don't got massive amounts of debt and all this other shit, and your credit report ain't all looking like a motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, a bloody massacre and shit. So what the fuck are you talking about, man? Just trying to send the people off. That's crazy.
But after 2 weeks, Experian is going to update your credit, and then they're going to start recommending these cards as pre-approvals to your credit, and then you will apply for the same credit card that you borrowed from your friend that hit $300,000. You're going to get that credit card.
Credit Karma and any of these apps will recommend credit cards to you based on your score, but that's their business model. What matters most is when lenders run your credit and analyze your FICO 8 score and see that your personal credit is terrible without the authorized user access, then they will deny funding.
So again, the man never said nothing about Credit Karma. And I don't even think he's even talking about credit cards still. I think he's still talking about becoming an authorized fucking user. So I mean, what the fuck is he talking about? Like I say, contrarian for contrary's sake.
So now it's like a free $300,000. That's
Kevo, please stop with the nonsense. Lenders don't just hand out $300,000 of credit because you were an authorized user. They're going to evaluate you on your primary lines. If the highest credit limit you have on your personal primary lines is like $5,000, you're not all of a sudden getting a $300,000 credit limit.
why when people turn 18 years old, their parents put them on a $500,000 credit card, and they basically gave them a free $500,000. It's generational wealth.
Fairly confident generational wealth has nothing to do with credit cards and authorized user access.
You can also.
So he's fairly confident. This man just gave up game. And like I say, this guy's a card carrying white supremacist. Now, this is some shit that rich white people fucking do all the fucking time for their kids. They probably did it for this motherfucker. That's why his only comeback was, I'm pretty sure that's not how generational wealth is acquired. Because guess what? Your family already got generational wealth because you built it off the backs of motherfucking black people and shit, some bitch. But that's a whole nother motherfucking fucking topic and shit. But motherfucking the way it is generational wealth for people that actually have to build, they get their shit from the fucking mud. Is this? If you're fucking young, if the younger generation, you know what I'm saying, you give them a leg up in the fucking world if you give them this high ass motherfucking credit limit from fucking from being a youngster and shit. You know what I'm saying, which will give them high ass fucking credit scores and shit. And now they have room to work with and shit. And if you actually give them access to that motherfucking credit, not just being a fucking authorized user, they can actually use that shit to invest and really create generational fucking wealth. So yes, you can create generational wealth from that. But I bet you do know that already. But you don't want us to know that.
Also, like you don't have to find somebody. You can actually buy these.
Sir.
So where can you buy this stuff?
So Tradeline Supply.
TradeLineSupply.com.
Be really careful doing this as lenders are beginning to crack down on this practice. This isn't a scam, but there is a risk of trying to game the system.
Again, he don't want nobody to game the system of white supremacy. It's not a game, as I stated before, so I'm not going to go long-winded into it. But trade lines, like he had to admit, are perfectly legal. And the lenders don't give a fuck if you got a motherfucking trade line on your motherfucking shit, which is the authorized usership. They don't give a fuck. It's a numbers game. They only give a fuck if you meet the fucking requirements. They can't crack down on it because it's fucking discrimination. They can't just arbitrarily say, we're not going to lend to you because your credit was boosted by a motherfucking authorized fucking usership. So since I believe you really should have a 600 fucking credit score, I'm gonna fucking deny you even though your shit is 750. That's called discrimination. And I bet you knew that. But I really don't think you did know that, or none of the other shit your dumb ass been saying throughout this fucking video that's been completely fucking incorrect.
Mix a trade line and the primary together, you unstoppable.
Kevo is right about this. Occasionally he knows what he's talking about.
Condescending bullshit ass shit once again. Condescending bullshit ass. Occasionally he knows what he's talking. Because like I say, he needs your stamp of approval in order for some shit to fucking be right. Because you're the white guy in the fucking room and you know better than anybody the fuck else.
I personally am very much against a lot of the lending practices in the financial sector, so I'm all for helping consumers better their credit score and pay less interest on their loans.
How fast can you do that?
This takes 2 weeks.
That's crazy. 2 weeks, you can shoot up 200, 300 points.
Yeah, that's called a credit hack. A lot of people.
The underlying problem is that a borrower still has their bad credit. If they haven't cleaned out the reasons why their credit was poor in the first place, then their new score is irrelevant because they aren't going to receive funding. They should.
So, like I say, this guy that ran across this one Kevo video or something and decided this nigga got all this flash, all this money, and he's trying to spit all this game. Let me take him down a peg. But if you've watched Kevo and watched his fucking information and all that other shit, you would know that this man already preaches the shit that you're talking about 1,000 times over. He tells you before you do any of this shit, like I'm telling your ass in this fucking video, God damn it, first you got to clean your shit up. You can't come with a dirty ass motherfucking backyard and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to have all your ducks lined up in a row. You know what I'm saying? You can't be trying to go and become a great real estate investor and all this other shit and acquire all this property. And you got $100,000 worth of fucking debt. You got all this old, derogatory marks on your motherfucking credit report. You got all this other bullshit going on. You have to clean your fucking credit first. That's the first move before you do any of this other shit. So catch up, Mustard. You saying shit that this man has said in several other videos and he preaches all day fucking every day. So he didn't say it in this one fucking video, so you believe that it's time for you to jump in and act like this man don't know what the fuck you're talking about? Or, come on, what's already known need not be explained. But obviously need to be explained for slow-mos like your dumb ass.
Should go through credit repair for a few months and then focus on building credit by traditional means.
A lot of people don't tell you this. This is a very crazy secret. You know what I mean? Because the old school way is just paying your bills on time.
Kevo is definitely right. We are not taught anything about credit because the people teaching us growing up knew nothing about credit. This is an industry I've been studying deeply for about 8 months now, and it's one of the most important aspects of our financial lives, and yet very few people know more than the surface.
This asshole is an expert because he's been studying for fucking 8 months. He's talking about a certified credit fucking expert that's been doing this shit for fucking years and shit. He's been doing credit repair for fucking years. He's a multimillionaire that's implemented all this shit he's talking about time and time again. And this clown walks in the fucking room with his 8 months of fucking experience with credit fucking repair and calls himself telling this man that's been doing credit repair for fucking years. He teaches this shit. But we need your 8 month ass to come and tell a certified credit expert how the fuck to do his job. On top of that, how many Grant Cardone videos have you done, sir? How many Ben Mallah videos have you done? How many Meet Kevin videos have you done? How many Graham Stephan videos have you done? Have you done any on Brandon Turner? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out. You done pick Kevo out the motherfucking pile. I wonder why. I wonder why you picked Kev out the crowd. He just is just a random victim of yours, huh? Things that make you say, get the fuck out of here. Fucking joke.
Surface level concept of personal credit or business credit.
You're basically disputing the stuff that's on your credit because credit bureaus make a lot of mistakes. So when they make mistakes, they deal with a whole lot of people. You can send in these letters, and if they don't get back into you in a certain time, they legally have to remove this stuff off your credit.
Kevo was right about this. If you ever see the credit repair businesses, this is what they're doing. I'm a real estate agent, so it's likely that I'll start a credit repair business to assist home buyers with improving their credit so they can save tens of thousands of dollars on their mortgage sometime later this year. It's a good business to start.
So
again, Kevo, a certified credit expert, don't need your fucking stamp of approval, asshole.
if you have a $300,000 credit card and you're not barely using it, like let's say if you're getting gas on it, they're gonna send you a $400,000 and $500,000 credit card because they want to keep trying to get you to use that credit because that's how they get paid.
This is false. The only time your credit limits will be increased automatically is when you're routinely maxing the card and paying the balance off immediately. If you're just using a card for gas, there's no reason for the bank to increase your limit. During times of lending restriction, banks have been known to actually reduce limits on cards that are seldomly used.
What he has stated is false because what he's talking about is completely subjective. There's no definite way that the banks fucking do this shit as far as increasing your damn credit limits. The shit that Kevo says has been implemented time and time again and has fucking worked to get your limits increased. The shit you're saying has worked time and time again to work to get your fucking your motherfucking your credit, your shit increased. You know what I'm saying? So it's more than one way to skin a cat. He's like I say, this man's just being contrarian for contrary's sake. There's more than one way to skin a cat. It's not just my way or the fucking highway. It's not just your way or the fucking highway, man. You know what I'm saying? You have your methods, we have our fucking methods. It's been effective for him. Like I say, he's a certified fucking credit expert, and it's been way longer than fucking 8 months. You know what I'm saying? So the one thing that I will say that is the relationship between what both of you all are saying and the conclusion I've come up with and my personal experience is consistent use of the fucking credit card. So whether it be a lot or a little, if you're consistently using that motherfucker time and time again every fucking month and shit, that's what, in my opinion, that's what will trigger an increase to your fucking credit line. So that's why what he's saying is right and what you're saying is right, sir. But it's not just your way of the fucking highway.
So check this out. If you get a $200,000 line of credit, you could buy so much real estate. Imagine this. If you buy fix and flip properties, you're putting 10% down on a hard money loan on a $200,000 house. That's 20 grand. That's 10 houses. You got 200,000 in credit.
Raphael.
Now, I'm glad this motherfucker put all them motherfucking clown faces on that motherfucking screen. Because he putting the shit up there for his damn self. You know what I'm saying? The man is putting this shit on his damn self. And I think this is the part where he gonna go on his round robin spree of misinformation and shit. Let's see what he's about to say. The only clown is you, man. You know what I'm saying? And we're all laughing at you. You're the only fucking clown because of all the dumb shit you said in this video that I've objectively proven that you have said all type of wrong misinformation to this motherfucker.
Oh, come on, man. This is what I hate about fake gurus. They live in a reality in the clouds where they just forget that actual lending standards exist. Number one, hard money lenders are going to want more than $20,000 down.
So, yeah, this is where he goes on his round robin of misinformation. Hard money lenders are going to want more than $20,000 down. So remember, Raphael Vargas said $200,000. We're talking about $200,000 loan. So he said your hard money lender is going to want 10%, and that 10% of 200,000 is 20,000. That's where he's saying 20,000. Hard money lenders are going to want more than 20,000. As far as I know, that's the going rate for hard money lenders, clown. I mean, what the fuck are you saying? I don't know where the fuck you from or where you at and what hard money lenders that you will know about. I seriously doubt you're an investor or work with any of these motherfuckers or reasonably know anything about any of this shit, honestly, because of all the wrong shit you have said in this shit. But if you're dealing with some hard money lenders that's charging you over that 10%, then sorry, but obviously Raphael knows some. I know some personally as Ole Man Winter. I know hard money lenders that do 10% down. So what from practical application, my own experience, obviously this man has own experience as well. Lenders, hard money lenders do 10% down. So what the fuck are you talking about? Once again, you know not what the fuck you're talking about. Idiotic buffoon.
Down. Number two, your debt to income will be insane if you go out and buy 10 properties with $20,000 down and no one will lend to you.
No, it won't be insane. And like I said, give me that 500 likes on this video and 1,000 subs, and I will explain to you in depth why your debt to income will not only be insane, unless you're talking about insane as far as your income level from one property to the next, increasing and increasing and increasing. Yeah, it will go insane as far as your access to capital. Yeah, every time you get that next property, you're going to have more access to money. You're gonna have more access to capital. Give me that 500 likes, 1,000 more subscribers. I will make that video. And this man, and I invite Spencer, racist ass, to come in and do a reaction video to my video and disprove anything that I'm gonna say. Because everything I'm saying is gonna be on the up and up, and I'm gonna show you how this is correct. You will be perfectly fine with your DTI. You know what I'm saying, acquiring multiple income fucking properties, multiple properties.
Number three, Raphael is explaining how to be 100% leveraged on house flipping. Using a credit card and a loan is recipe for disaster if you aren't very experienced in what you're doing.
Again, hey, if you ain't getting in this shit, you're supposed to be in it to win it. You're supposed to know what the fuck you're getting into. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that anything he says is particularly wrong. All I can say is that if you're doing this shit, you should be experienced. You should know what the fuck you're doing. You should know how to move money here, move money there, pull money from this place, pull money from that place, and do what you need to do to accomplish your fucking goals. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to be a serious fucking real estate fucking investor and shit. And you gotta crawl before you walk. Don't just jump off into no shit. And ain't nobody even saying that. They're not saying this. You know what I'm saying? As you become more experienced in any of these fucking things, you will be able to, find out different techniques, learn different things, and, finesse the fucking game and shit and do what you need to fucking do. Technically you aren't supposed to even be able to use a credit card for a lot of this shit. So, it's certain little moves and shit you gotta do to even pull the money off the credit card. So you haven't even challenged that fact, so obviously you understand that there's certain ways you can do that, and you give credence to that. So yeah, you can do certain little moves. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be experienced and know what the fuck you're doing. So I agree, you do need to be experienced. You should. This is rookies need not apply. You know.
Number 4, the borrower wouldn't have any working funds for the rehab. This clip
Again, he knows not what the fuck he talking about. If you're getting a fucking hard money loan, genius, you mean to tell me you're going to get a hard money loan on a broke down, dilapidated ass property and not have the motherfucking money to motherfucking fix that motherfucker up? Because if you're getting a hard money fucking loan and shit, you don't got the money to fucking buy the fucking property. Now, this dunce, like I say, he knows nothing about real estate investing. Look at him. He looks slow. But he knows nothing about fucking real estate motherfucking investing. When you get the fucking hard money loan, Shlomo, you're supposed to get a hard money loan that covers the rehab expenses as well. Genius. How don't you fucking know that? Like I say, anybody that's a real estate investor knows you don't know. If they watch this video, I can show it to 10 motherfucking real estate investors and they'll all be fucking laughing at you, brother. Because you know not what the fuck you're talking about. You're gonna get a fucking hard money loan on a dilapidated property and don't get the money to fix the motherfucker up too? How stupid does that shit sound, man? Who the fuck does that? If you get a fucking hard money loan, you get a hard money loan to acquire the property and do the fucking renovations, genius. That's pretty much the purpose of a fucking hard money loan, man, my man. You know what I'm saying? But okay, hey, you the real estate expert, Mr. Realtor, man, Mr. Real Estate Agent, and none of us know what the fuck we talk about. We're just lowly niggas that don't know what the fuck we talking about. And you're the clean cut white guy that knows everything about everything. I got you. Let's hear what the rest of let's hear the final thoughts of this clown.
was the perfect summation of Raphael. Now, ignore objective criteria for obtaining loans and hype people on what's not even possible. I hope it's because
It's like I said, I clearly explained how it's possible. You know what I'm saying? We was just talking about hard money loans. I just broke that shit down to the motherfucking T. And that's motherfucking sauce too that's worth fucking money and shit. Obviously, especially when you countering bullshit like this misinformation campaign this cocksucker done brought to the table.
becoming obvious that it's way easier to be a fake guru promoting get-rich-easy schemes than it is to be someone who's
The only person that's fake around this motherfucker, my man, is you. All your information is fake. Your motherfucking reasonings for making this video is fake. All you are a card carrying motherfucking cultural white supremacy member practicing your white supremacy on these two multi-millionaires because your ass is jealous you're not in their fucking position.
transparent. If we ignore lending standards, just go out and magically get $500,000 of credit cards, put the credit card funds in the crypto market, 10x your returns in 2 weeks because I know an expert who makes millions doing this, then
Now you just saying shit that probably done lost 10 everybody in the fucking audience unless they know personally about Raphael Vargas and shit. So you done switch gears like a motherfucker. We talking about, but this is just more fuel to try to throw
we'll all be
motherfuckers under the
millionaires
bus.
next week.
But you want to throw motherfucking Raphael under the bus without motherfuckers even knowing what the fuck you're talking about. Raphael is supposed to be a crypto expert and that 10x shit. You know what I'm saying? That's his jam and shit. He didn't bother explaining any of that. He just decided to throw out a dig at, what Raphael Vargas is doing, what he's known for, and talk shit about it without giving any context. But he's the smart guy and shit. and he just talked shit about Kevo for about 13 minutes and shit, basically for the same fucking reasons.
Week, it's easy to sell hype. The moral of the story is be careful who you follow on social media. Thanks.
My sentiments exactly. Be careful who you follow on social media. Man, you done took the words out of my mouth. You done took the words straight out of my mouth, Spencer. I say be careful who you follow on social media.
Thanks for watching.
You're welcome. So, in closing, this guy's full of shit, man. I done just broke the man down from pillar to post. I done objectively shown you that at least 90% of the information he tried to disprove Kevo with was incorrect. I challenge him or any of his cronies or followers or anybody out here to come and try to attempt to disprove anything that I just said, which was pretty much correcting all the bullshit that this man has said that's fucking lies and bullshit and just white supremacist hate talk. You know what I'm saying? Basically, the man is jealous of these young balling minority guys, you know what I'm saying, that's living way better lives than he is, and he the clean cut white boy that's supposed to have full access to the system of white supremacy and supposed to be able to take full advantage. And he feels like these guys gamed the system, you know what I'm saying, gamed the system of white supremacy to get all their riches and wealth and shit. And he's upset about that, so he had to take them down. But nah, man, I just had to take your ass down with straight motherfucking facts. Ain't nothing you could say that I done said on this motherfucker was a lie or a manipulation of the truth or any of that shit to try to take your ass down because you was full of shit. You know nothing what the fuck you're talking about. I doubt you even own a piece of land or property other than maybe your own personal fucking residence. I suggest you motherfucker try to get your motherfucking real estate education up, my man, and you know what I'm saying, stop hating on motherfuckers that's doing better than you and try to motherfucking get on their motherfucking level. Or maybe try to learn some game from their motherfucking ass. And maybe you can move up in the motherfucking world instead of having to be a fucking YouTube motherfucking hating ass fucking troll. So it's your man, Ole Man Winter, once again, you know what I'm saying, with another episode of No Holds Bar. And like I say, like, comment, subscribe, and share my shit. You know what I'm saying? As I always been telling you. And like I said, again, 500 likes, 1,000 new subscribers, and I'll make that real estate video, you know what I'm saying, breaking down the motherfucking secrets to the 3%, to doing multiple 3% deals up into three up into 10 times. You know what I'm saying? There's a tried and true proven method that isn't known too much. You see, this motherfucker don't know shit about it. You know what I'm saying? This isn't known amongst the regular ribble rabble, even in the real estate investing community. I will definitely be giving you some sauce that most people that are even real estate investors don't fucking know. Like I say, Bandman Kevo charge a 15,000 consultation fee. And guess what? If y'all don't get me to the 500 likes and 1,000 what's the names and 1,000 subscribers, you can always email me and ask me, you know what I'm saying, for this information. And I'll do a consultation for you, you know what I'm saying, we could, work out the damn price. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's your man, Ole Man Winter. You know what I'm saying? And this is another episode of No Holds Bar, a special reaction episode to his white supremacist asshole. And we out. Peace.